Hello everybody, and welcome to another Hearthstone Arena video. Today we're going to be playing as the Shaman. I enjoy Paladin. I think Druid is slightly subpar right now. He has some late game potential, but it's not really my style really. I've been playing quite a bit of Shaman and Constructed lately, and I think it's pretty fun. Some people are afraid of the overload mechanic, which allows you to play a spell but on the next turn you will have less mana equivalent to overload. And that sounds kind of scary, but when you actually play the game, I think you'll notice it's really not that bad. It basically just lets you play a spell a turn or two earlier at cost of your following turns. So it's actually pretty good, in my opinion. So let's get on to the draft here. Don't like Murloc Tidecaller, don't like Mana Wraith, do like Sunfury Protector. Earthshock Corehound Spellbreaker. Spellbreaker is the obvious choice here. Flametongue Totem, Silverback Patriarch, Raid Leader. I don't think Silverback Patriarch is that great. Flametongue Totem can be quite good. Raid Leader can be fairly good as well. They both have their advantages. I'll take Flametongue Totem, I think, for now. War Golem. Dalaran Mage, Raging Worgen. War Golem's okay. It's kind of weak. Could have very slightly more value, like one more stat perhaps, and that would make it very slightly better. I think Raging Worgen is the best card here, though, overall. Priestess of Elune, Harvest Golem, Leper Gnome even. Harvest Golem is the best choice here. Windspeaker, Wind Fairy Harpy, Totemic Might. Windspeaker, probably the best choice here. Totemic Might is it's pretty much bottom of the barrel for Shaman cards. Windspeaker is not super efficient, but I think it's maybe slightly better than Wind Fairy Harpy. So we'll take that. Bloodlust, Raging Worgen, Shield Bearer. I don't want to take Shield Bearer. Another Raging Worgen would not be terrible. Bloodlust can be okay in a rushdown deck, but I don't really want to build a rushdown deck, so I don't know. It would be interesting, but I think we're gonna take the Worgen maybe. Yeah. Frost Shock, Silvermoon Guardian, Flametongue Totem. I think another Flametongue Totem is okay. Silvermoon Guardian is decent. There are better Divine Shield creatures out there, but it's okay. It can theoretically go 2 for 1, which is nice. Frost Shock is not very good. Worse than Earthshock, and Earthshock isn't really that great. So Flametongue Totem is maybe the pick here. I'm uncertain. We already have one. I'll take it. Dust Devil, Wisp, Reckless, Rocketeer. Don't love any of these. Kind of want to take the Reckless just to have something a little bit later. Defender of Argus. Now this is gonna be tricky. Defender of Argus, Knife Juggler, Manatide Totem. Wow, this is very tricky. All three of these are fantastic cards, each for completely different reasons. Knife Juggler, of course, just amazing at establishing board control very early on. Manatide Totem, so much card draw potential, so much. Guaranteed to get at least one, and any turn after that, it's just a lot of potential card draw. Absolutely incredible. Defender of Argus, very, very strong. Very, very strong for a 4 mana. In a lot of ways, it doesn't really work this way, but in some ways you are getting a 4 for 5/5 here with taunts, which is quite strong. I know it doesn't work exactly like that, but in some ways it does. So, I'm a little bit more interested in Defender of Argus and Manatide Totem here. I think Manatide is maybe the right choice. I would pick any of these though, basically. It's a very difficult pick though. None of these are. I don't think any one of these is a bad choice. I think you could pick any one of these cards in this exact setup and you would be making the correct choice. But I think I will take Manatide for now. Stormforged Axe is by far the best in that set. Fire Elemental versus Hex, basically. I value them both. Silverhand Knight is also quite good, but I would prefer to have Hex or Fire Elemental. We don't have a Hex yet, but Fire Elemental is possibly the best Shaman card, so it's pretty interesting. So, War Golem, I'm uncertain. Abusive Sergeant is theoretically okay. Wolf Rider, I don't know. Wolf Rider usually goes 1-for-1, which isn't that great. Abusive Sergeant could turn. So it could make some interesting stuff happen. Wargolem may be the best pick here. I don't love it. But we don't have any 1-drops either. But I don't know. Fine. We'll take Abusive Sergeant. Okay, first Hex. Easy pick. Ventrico versus Frost Elemental. We have a lot of 6s as is, no 5s. Ventrico is very strong. Gadgetzan, Auctioneer, Ancestral Spirit, Feral Spirit. I think all of these are pretty solid. We've already got some draw, so I'm not sure if Gadgetzan, Auctioneer is necessary. Don't really have a huge amount of spells yet either, so. Ancestral Spirit, pretty solid if you play it on a big card, or it has potential to be fairly solid at least. Feral Spirit, of course, quite good as well. Yeah. It's a tough choice for me. I don't know. I'm leaning towards the Feral Spirit here, I think. So. I think we actually will pick up a War Golem here, maybe. Raging Worgen is good, but we've already got 2, right? Yeah. I don't feel like we really need another one. And we have a fairly high curve on the 3 slot anyway. So, Defender of Argus, Sunwalker, Injured Blade Master. Injured Blade Master is a fairly safe pick here. Sunwalker is actually probably the weakest card in this set. I'm thinking Defender of Argus. We don't have a lot of 4s yet. Have a good amount of 3s, so Injured Blade Master is going to have trouble finding a place to stand in, basically. So I'm thinking Defender of Argus here. Yeah, it's okay. Don't have a Rockbiter weapon yet. Don't really have a huge amount of elimination. Love Scarlet Crusader, but I think Rockbiter here is the best pick. Don't really want Mind Control Technician, though if you watched yesterday's video, it did pretty well against me. Knife Juggler versus Emperor Cobra is a fairly interesting decision. I'm looking at the curve here. We have slightly more 3s than 2s, so that is sort of a point in favor of the Knife Juggler. Emperor Cobra is very good at trading upwards, which is nice. Knife Juggler, again, that early board control, very solid. So, yeah, maybe Knife Juggler is the right pick here. Okay, another Fire Elemental or Ogre Magi. I don't consider Corehound to be super good. It's undervalued, basically, in my opinion. I think it could use maybe slightly less damage, slightly more health, something like that. I don't know. Maybe an ability of some kind. Yeah, so Fire Elemental here seems wise. Well, how many Fire Elementals do we only have 1, so another one wouldn't hurt at all. Ogre Magi would be a very tempting pick here if we had any Lightning Bolt style abilities, but we do not have those yet, so. Bloodsail Corsair doesn't seem that great to me. Abomination, interesting. Ancestral Spirit. I'm thinking maybe Abomination. Could be okay. But it will nuke all of our totems, so it's pretty bad in that regard. Unless we have some kind of buff, and we don't really have any buffs that I can think of right now, so it's pretty risky. Defender of Argus, of course, but that's about it. So I'm thinking Ancestral Spirit may be here. Could be okay. So Bloodlust, Darkscale Healer, Iron for Grizzly. Darkscale Healer, Battlecry is okay, but it actually loses some effectiveness in Shaman, I think, because you do have the Restoration Totem. Iron for Grizzly is alright. Yeah, it's budgeted perfectly, basically, for 3 mana. It's 3/3 and an ability, so that's fine. Budget is approximately as well as the Injured Blade Master, which is budgeted very well for a 3, so. Don't have that many 5s, and Bloodlust could be fun, so. Maybe we will take 1 Bloodlust, I'm not sure. We do have a 3 taunt as is. We may not draw it, it's hard to say. I think I'll take Bloodlust. Another Feral Spirit here is looking likely. Ancient Mage would be interesting, but again, not that many spells going on in this deck just yet, so Feral Spirit seems a little safer to me. Makes me glad I did not pick the taunt there. Yeah. Shattered Sun Cleric seems like the best pick to me. Another Stormforged Axe. How many do we have? Just one. So it's Stormforged Axe or Amani Berserker or Boulder Fist Ogre. Boulder Fist Ogre is very good, but we do have 3 6-drops. We have some fairly strong late game, I think. So Stormforged Axe could work pretty well. Makes it much more likely we'll draw it, which is nice. Cult Master. I don't really want another Flame Tongue. I think 2 is fine. Cult Master would be decent. We don't have a huge amount of card draw, just the Mana Tide Totem so far. I already have a Venture Code. Don't really want 2. Another Fire Elemental. Booty Bay Bodyguard. Shattered Sun Cleric. All 3 of these pretty okay. Booty Bay Bodyguard may actually be the worst one here. But I am looking at the curve. Another Fire Elemental, very strong, of course. Shattered Sun Cleric is very, very strong 3-drop. We already have a decent number of 3-drops though, so I'm wary. A third Fire Elemental would be pretty good, but maybe excessive. Difficult to play. Don't have a lot of 5s. Yeah, I don't know. We got a decent amount of taunts with the 2 Feral Spirits, I think, so. In the Sun Fairy Protector and the Defender of Argus, so yeah, we actually have quite a bit going on in the taunt category, so I think what we're really looking at here is Shattered Sun Cleric or Fire Elemental, and it's a difficult choice for me, because we already have 2 Fire Elementals, and I don't want to stack the endgame too much. But we have a very nice 3 curve as is, so I don't really want to boost it too much more either. It's a weird thing. I sort of like our curve right now, but yeah, the main thing I'm concerned about here is the curve, right? Because Shattered Sun Cleric and Fire Elemental are both extremely good cards. So I'm really trying to think about the curve, and if I can take one more 6, or if I should take another 3. It's a tough decision in my opinion. Very tough. Huh. I really don't know. I'm a big fan of the Shattered Sun, I really am. We have enough 3-drops, I think, basically. It's going to be a competitive slot for sure. Okay, let's take the Fire Elemental. Okay, so, choice here is pretty much between Hex and Forked Lightning. Hex scales a little bit better. Have enough Stormforged Axes that I'm not super worried about early game elimination, per se. And a Rockbiter weapon as well, so I think Hex is a safer choice in case we make it really late. And our final pick, Alarma Bot, Azure Drake, Master Swordsmith. All pretty okay. Trying to think about where we would use Alarma Bot. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's some places. Azure Drake is a very good card, potentially. Not that many nukes though, so part of it is going to be wasted. Which sucks. Master Swordsmith can be okay, but I don't think we need it, per se. So, Alarmabot or Azure Drake? It's a good question. We have some decent card draws, so I'm not sure if we need another one. So, 3 or 5. 3 or 5, 3 or 5. Alarmabot could be pretty good. We got some decent curve here, so. Huh. I don't know. It's a tough question. Let's Azure Drake. That's probably the wrong decision, actually. Oh well. Let's get started here. Let's do some games, see how it does. I'm feeling okay with this. We got a decent amount of early game elimination. Did get too many spells. Did get 2 hexes, which is nice. 3 fire elementals, which is great. But no forked lightning, no lightning balls, no lightning storms. So all of our elimination is going to be in the weapons. We got 2 Stormforged axes, which is a great number. It's perfect, pretty much, in my opinion. Got a Rockbiter weapon, just 1, but that's okay. In the hexes as well to deal with some late game stuff potentially. So we could use slightly more elimination. Like I said, having a lightning storm would be really nice, but we didn't get the option, so this hand is not good. I almost just want to drop it all. Flame Tongue Totem theoretically could be okay early on. I don't know though. Let's try and see. I'm really not sure. No, I don't like that. It's not awful, but it could be better. So let's just let's get started here. Maybe we pick up a 1-drop. We don't have a lot of 1-drops. Yeah, it's fine. I wasn't really expecting to get one, I guess. Can always throw out the totem on turn 1 or turn 2, which is fine. Unless he plays a 2-1, in which case I might still play it. Just to give him a choice. Now what's he gonna drop here? Mana Wraith. It's interesting. The axe here seems acceptable. Gets the job done. Gonna delay my turn 3 a little bit. It's okay though. Next turn I can totem, and then the turn after I can feral spirits probably. So he's not gonna have a turn 2, presumably, which is okay with me. I think feral spirits into mana time. Does that work? It might. I'm not sure. I have to think about it some more. Yeah, it could work. He's gonna nuke that. Mortal Coil, pretty okay. For Gnome, it's okay. And then that. Alrighty. I think Feral Spirits here is pretty strong. And then maybe Abusive Sergeants, but it won't really do anything, so. I could hit the Voidwalker, just so it has to trade. It's maybe not a terrible idea. I'm not sure if that was the correct move or not. We'll see. Next turn I should have 3 mana. I can drop the Mana Tide. I think. Yeah, sounds right. We will see what he does here though. And then the turn after I can play Flame Tongue. Okay, he's gonna wipe the board, which is okay. Spend his entire turn doing that. Kinda like Mana Tide here. Because I'm not sure if he can deal with it or not. I think we'll see a Shadow Bolt come out here if he's got one. Seems like the reasonable play. He does not have one. That's what that tells me. He's got some stuff though. Got some stuff. Knife Juggler seems okay here. What's the whole play? I could buff this thing to... Yeah, I could buff it. So I could take out that, which is okay. And I think Knife Juggler. And this. Nope. Alright, that's fine. Okay, now we've got pretty strong board. And just got the Stormforged Axe as well, so things are looking up right now. Stampeding Kodo. Yeah, got the right one. Still okay position though. It kinda sucks. Could be worse. Could be better. Bloodlust here would let me take out the Kodo. It's kind of expensive though, isn't it? So I don't love it. I could just trade in to get the Kodo. It's not great either. I don't have a hugely amazing play here, in my opinion. Yeah, that was lucky. Alright, so Kodo down. Ventrico seems okay. Maybe actually the best play here. Oh shit, should have hit with him. Oh well. Yeah, Ventrico's very strong here. They have a lot of damage on the field. Okay, he's gonna freeze, which is decent. War Golem, obviously fairly expensive here. Okay, we need a way to deal with that frost elemental. Not a hugely easy solution here. Could... this will be okay. We'll survive. We'll probably survive. Next turn we can do 9 plus 4, that's 13, plus 9. Next turn we can kill him if he doesn't play a taunt or wipe the board. Bloodlust, that's pretty cool. Can we still kill the board if he does that? Well, let's just see what all he plays. We may make it difficult. Yeah, it's not really enough. It's not enough at all. So 9 plus 6 is going to be 15. That's 2. Alright. I can't seemingly play Bloodlust though. Never mind. Alright, cool. So that worked. Actually got pretty okay usage out of Bloodlust. There was a chance he was going to come back from that, because he still had a decent amount of health left, but managed to make an okay play. May have still won even without the Bloodlust there, but it definitely secured things, which is nice. It's nice to have a secure victory. So, moving on. Pretty happy with how that went. No fire elementals, interestingly enough. Which is actually good, because it kind of shows that this deck still has some strength, even if we don't draw up our biggest cards. And of course, Ventrico Mercenary is very strong. Lots of damage, such a good card. A downside, it sucks, but it's not nearly as bad as it sounds. Because you just get such a strong minion so early. Yeah. Okay. I don't like this early Ancestral Spirit or Rocketeer. I'm okay with the rest of it though. Yeah, Flame Tongue Totem, Fire Elemental. It's sort of like having a Fire Elemental in my hand. What we could do here is coin out a Totem and then play Flame Tongue. It's a weird, greedy play, but it would let us be aggressive against a Priest, which is kind of cool. That's Stone Skin too, which is pretty nifty. We'll see if this works. I kind of doubt it, but we'll see. Could have gone worse. Oh shit. Knife Juggler. Knife Juggler's fairly good here. And the Flame Tongue Totem doesn't let me clear this board out, so Knife Juggler seems better. I don't know. It seems alright to me. Certainly delayed things, which is cool. Feral Spirits here is pretty good. Yeah, why not? Could have used a better knife. Maybe playing slightly too aggressive here. Should have maybe cleared the board. I'm not sure. I maybe should have traded the Knife Juggler into the Raid Leader. Nothing else. Yeah, seems likely. I'm really not sure. He's not choosing to trade a whole lot here. Which is okay for me, I guess. Here I think we trade this. Oh my god, Knife Juggler, you're not doing very well for me. Okay with that. Got decent value out of Feral Spirits here, I think. Knife Juggler could have hit some better targets, but it's okay. Next turn we'll have 5 mana. So we could Raging Worgen. Yeah. Should probably just trade that. Okay. Oh, okay. play doesn't do anything. Huh. I guess he didn't think about that. Forgot about the buff at least, which is neat for me. Raging Worgen here seems fairly strong. Don't know though. Don't know. I sort of like it. We'll see what he does. Yeah, that'll help. Really? Does he have a follow-up? No. Weird stuff. You know, Fire Elemental here is actually pretty sweet. Let's get rid of that. And we could trade this guy into this, which is actually pretty cool. Or we can just hit him. Yeah, let's just hit him. We still got Light Spawn next turn. We can hex it. Just gonna get rid of that, which is good. Smart play. And he's gonna get rid of that, which is again a fairly smart play. No heal. Good, 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 good. Alright, I gotta think about this. War Golem, I don't really need him right now. He's too big, also, I think. Yeah. I think that's acceptable. And we also need to get rid of that guy. So we could buff this. Yeah. It's okay. Gets rid of a dangerous card. Rebuff this guy. And we can hex. And I can protect it. So I can hex. If he's got mind control, he'll use it on this. I'm like fairly certain about that. And we can hex it. So yeah, cool. And we can follow up with a War Golem turn after. So I'm pretty happy with how that went. Yeah, it's okay. Could have gone a lot worse. Quite honestly. Hex seems like the best play. I should have set him on the side there. That was a slight mistake. Don't really have a big enough card here that mind control is super dangerous. And again, another hex, so Shadow Word Death. It's alright. Is he finally gonna trade this thing away, or okay, he's gonna make it quite dangerous. Which is cool. Hex Mercenary? Can't hex Golem, or I would. I'm gonna use this Ancestral Spirit if I can trade it somehow. I don't know if that's gonna happen or not. We'll see. Huh. Interesting. What's the best play here? Let's see what we get. Fire Elemental helps. A reasonable amount. Yeah. It does. So if he's still alive next turn, I can Ancestral Spirit him. We'll see what he does. Though, may not be alive. Can I win next turn? Maybe. How could I do that? So these guys will do 13 damage, and then I can give them +6, that's 19. And she can pierce that, so, okay, cool. Neat. Bloodlust secures the play again. Again, still not certain if it's necessary, but it does allow me to secure the victory, which is really cool. I like that. So 2 for 0 right now. Things are going quite well. Spoilers for last game. May have already mentioned it, but I went 2 for 3. So right now we're doing quite a bit better than that. I really like this deck so far. Seems pretty good. Not having any of the lightning spells is sort of unfortunate, but overall the deck seems quite strong. I feel like I picked most of the high quality picks, and usually whenever you do that, things go okay. Things are definitely going okay right now. We will see if we can beat yesterday's record, which I think is looking decently likely. First mage though, so we'll see. I think we did beat a priest, which I feel good about. Wind Speaker is arguably a little bit better later. This does give us a 2-3-4 play though. It's just kind of nifty. Okay, we'll hold on to it, I guess. I don't know if I should have held on to it, but it's okay. Could be significant. I haven't actually gotten to play it yet. Mostly just happy I got the axe. Could go ahead and play the axe, but I don't think that's necessary. Just in case he's got an ooze that he's gonna throw out here. I don't get to kill anything with it. Okay, now I do. So that's cool. Stormforged Axe again, very, very cool card. Gets a lot done. And next turn I can play a 3-drop if I want with the coin, but we may just throw a totem down. We'll see what he chooses to do here. If he's got an ooze, he'll probably play it. That's interesting. Could be Mirror Entity. If it's Mirror Entity, I don't want to play Mana Tide, obviously. Be happy if he took a totem. I don't know if that works. I almost want to try and lure it out. Maybe Vaporize. I don't know if Totem would cause Mirror Entity, so I'm still a little bit wary about playing Mana Tide. Though I can theoretically get rid of it fairly quickly, I guess. I don't know. It's a lot of mage secrets, so it's kind of a pain in the ass to think about. 4 mana. Interesting. Interesting. Well, let's see if it's Mirror Entity. It is, I think. Yeah. Okay. It's not the end of the world. I can trade the totem in, which is interesting. Could keep the totem alive with Ancestral Spirit. I don't know if that's a good play though. It doesn't sound good. So it probably isn't. So let's just pass on by that. I could coin totem though, so I could still coin totem. I'll just hold on to it though. Coin is potential nice counter overload if we get in a weird spot, which makes it kind of useful. Fire Blast here. Sure. Decent enough, I guess. So no 5-drops coming out, which is pretty strong for me. In fact, no drops coming out at all. Which is sort of interesting. Mana Tide Totem here. Seems like the right play. Stone Skin, pretty nice to have. Venture Co, very strong. Resistant to Flame Strikes. Generally quite a strong card. Could follow it up with a Wind Speaker and have basically a 14/6. I mean, it's not literally, but it's quite close, which is fairly scary. Of course. Let's see what he plays though. Fairy Dragon. Okay. No 6-drop. Ogre Magi. Somewhat threatening. Something we kind of need to deal with if we can. Which we could. And we may. I don't like him having Ogre Magi at this turn, to be honest. It scares me. Though that is honestly an okay trade for him, but I'm okay with it. Next turn I could. Okay. So he's gonna finally kill the Manatide, I presume. Indeed. Okay. That's fine. Gonna fill up here on cards if we don't play some soon, so we should do that. Hex here is not terrible. What's the follow-up? Could silence him. Silence Rockbiter. Which is acceptable, I think. And then Totem. Yeah, it seems okay. Got a lot of draw out of that Manatide, so I'm pretty happy. We shall see what happens here. I don't think he would necessarily Flame Strike here if he had it. He might. I'm sort of doubtful though. Could have a lot of elimination in there though, so I'm a little scared about that, of course. Frost Elemental is going to be a problem. Kind of a weird Fire Blast. Could rescue him. I don't know if I want to. Still very tempted to just play the could Hex the Frost Elemental. Hex. Yeah, I think that's pretty strong. It's a lot to deal with. Polymorph will come out here if he's got it, certainly. Or Fireball. No real doubt in my mind about that. Windspeaker is what I would like to do next turn, but I'm not sure if it's in the cards. I mean, it is in the cards, but I'm not sure if it's what we're going to do. So we're not going to see a huge drop come out here. We're going to see Cone of Cold, though, which does slow things down quite a bit. In fact, a lot. A little scared, actually. Very slightly scared. Fire Elemental doesn't do enough here. Fender of Argus would keep things alive for a little bit, which is okay. Yeah, I haven't really gotten to use the coin in a great way here, sadly. Flame Strike here, if he's got it. Silence. Okay. There's a weird graphical thing. Finally gonna trade his Fairy Dragon. I'm definitely feeling like we're fighting on the back foot, but we also have an okay amount of stuff. That was probably vaporized, though I wasn't really paying attention. Could be something else. His Mirror Entity, I want to guard against that probably. Okay, what is he doing? Gosh damn, this guy. He's had a busy turn. So now things aren't looking great. Yeah, I'm a little nervous for sure. Fire Element doesn't do enough. So Sergeant doesn't hold purpose. Raging Organ is too good. Doesn't help us. I don't love any of this. Yeah, we need to just do this and see if it's Mirror Entity. Which it's not. It's probably vaporized. Huh. Let's do that then. Oh my gosh, not another secret. It's gonna be a secret deck. We're not really in a great position still. It's probably Vaporize Mirror Entity. Those are the common cards here. I would suspect it to be. We're in a pretty bad place. Let's see. I think we're going to struggle to come back from this. It's not impossible, but we need to deal with some of this crap somehow. Which is not going to be super easy. Mirror Entity. It's not Mirror Entity. Ice Barrier. Counterspell? Huh. I guess it could be. I'm very scared, obviously. We need to control board. Which is going to be difficult, because that's probably a counterspell. I could kill this guy to control the board. Wish I still had Ancestral Spirit, though. It's probably our best hope. Because I put this Flame Tongue's Totem in a dumb spot. Yeah, it's actually our only hope. Okay. Alright, so if he's got Flame Strike here, we lose. Otherwise, we might be able to come back. Or if he's just got like a Fireball. That's obviously something. It's fourth card there. Flame Strike. Well, it's probably GG. Very little I can do now. Sadly. Just kind of got outplayed here a little bit. I think I made the best possible play for last stand, but yeah, there's actually nothing I can do here. Sadly. I mean, try to hex that thing. It's probably counterspell though. Yeah. Alright, it's over. Don't need to keep messing around with it. Yeah, I made the correct last-ditch play, but getting into last-ditch situation like that was the mistake in the first place. So, yeah, he just kind of outmaneuvered me. Got the good draw. Had the correct cards to deal with what I put up. And yeah, I don't know. I think I played some things in the wrong order. I think my starting hand was not acceptable, because I just saved that Windspeaker forever. It's an okay card. But I don't think it's worth having in your starting hand. I really don't. It's not a very good 4-drop. And you really want to play another big card, like a really big card. I don't think this is the greatest starting hand either. Yeah, Ken Pleo. Keep Hex, I guess. Yeah, can play the Abusive Sergeant just to mess with them a little. Sort of pointless, but might do it anyway. I don't know. Don't love it. Let's see what we draw. It is against a Druid though, so we'll see how things go. Probably gonna go. If I had to guess, it'll be slightly easier than the Mage, but that doesn't necessarily mean we'll win. I think the Mage probably just has a lot of the right tools to deal with Shamans, especially this deck. And he used his tools correctly, I think. So, yeah, props to him. Let's see if we can pull it back together here. Looks like Shapeshift maybe is coming out here. So Raging Worgen may actually be safe next turn to play, which is pretty cool. We got 2 of them even, which makes it interesting. And obviously, you know, an enraged Raging Worgen with Abusive Sergeant buff is not something you really want to be facing on like turn 4 or whatever. Turn 3 even, potentially, depending on what he throws down here. My ideal situation here is he throws the lambs to the slaughter, but he may have a claw or something and choose to double up and kill it, which is not a bad choice for him. Raging Worgen is not the type of card you want to just leave lying around forever, but it's good for me if he does. So, just another Raging Worgen, huh? I guess that works. I wonder if there's anything we can do about that. Could hex it, but I sort of hate that, so. Could Ancestral Spirit, that seems like a waste. Yeah. It does. It does. Could just play another Worgen. Trade this one. It's kind of neat, I guess. Not sure if it's the correct play. It's mana efficient though, so that's kind of cool. Always fun when you're mana efficient. Hex was another option for sure. I don't love it though. That's pretty good for me if he chooses to do it. It's not. It's not good for me. It's no longer good for me. Moonfire. Can we punish him for that Moonfire? Yes. Do we want to? Yes. Hex Abusive Sergeant? Sounds kind of calm. Maybe a little bit overkill. Does start putting some pressure on him though. And druids typically go a little bit late, so it's pretty cool. Next time we can defend our Vargas and it'll be fairly strong. We'll see though. I don't love Ancestral Spirit on him because theoretically I don't think he'll come back. I think he comes back at full health, right? Maybe. The whole point of him is to have him raging, so I don't think it's like the greatest play. I'd much rather have it on a bigger minion. Yeah. Let's see what he plays though. Nourish. I'm gonna draw 3 here probably. Yeah. Okay. It's acceptable for me. Doesn't have any plays here, so we're in an okay position. Don't have a mana efficient play, so we're just gonna defend our Vargas and start laying out the pain. I think he actually loses next turn if he doesn't have a nice play here, so we'll see what he does. Something like a Starfire would be fairly good. He's got a lot of cards, so we'll see. Frost Elemental's gonna save him. Pretty good. What can I do about that? Fire Elemental. Can't kill him, so. Trade the guy under taunt, I guess. Definitely dies next turn if he doesn't have a board wipe, I think. Even if he does have a board wipe, it's going to be difficult. He'll die next turn even if he board wipes, because I don't think a board wipe would get rid of this. I'm trying to think of a druid one that would do. I don't know any off the top of my head. He's going to concede. So cool, we're 3-1, which is better than last time. So let's keep going, see how far we can take this. Turn 6 victory there, I believe. Just a nice set of plays, I think. Tried to be fairly mana cautious early on, and I think how I handled the Worgen situation was perfect. I got kind of lucky to draw both of them, but you know, luck is a factor in this game, so sometimes you gotta play with it, sometimes you gotta play against it. Looking like we may have an error here. Nope. Here we go. We're gonna fight a Perky Priest. No, we're the opponent, of course. Of course. Ah, it is a Perky Priest. Strange. Manatide. I could say sort of like this hand. Sunfairy Protector is not a bad turn 2 play, even if we don't use the taunt effect. Still a River Proclus, basically, which is fine. Yeah, no follow, no turn 1 play possible, so Sunfairy Protector seems okay. Let's see what he does though. Nothing. So Sunfairy Protector it is. Want to get some board presence, and then next turn we can maybe Manatide. Actually, sort of like Manatide, a little bit more than Raging Morgan early on. He's gonna coin, play a 3 something. It's pretty good. Seems familiar. I don't have a great way to deal with that. So, except to play our own Worgen again, which seems familiar again. Hex! Hex to waste. Sort of want to keep Hex against a priest. Another Worgen, I think, is in order. Could be the wrong decision. Probably is. We'll see though. Ideal situation for me is he just trades the Worgen, but we'll see if he does that or not. Yeah. Okay. Should have just hexed him. Oh well. Too late now. Oh dear. This is gonna get ugly. He can clean the board. We'll die, but he can do it. No, he won't die. So Hex is gonna be mandatory. He's gonna be aggressive. Okay. Alright, we need to kill him. Or get rid of him, rather. Too good. Didn't want to Hex there, but ended up needing to. Should have Hexed to begin with, probably. Would have been the smarter play. Oh. We trade that, probably. Which is okay with me. Double Totem. No need to play the Stormforge just yet. Doesn't have anything on the field. Oh, and a nice stone skin here. It's actually pretty good. Gives him something to chew through to get to that, unless he's got a pain, which he may. A Shadow Word pain, that is. I guess he doesn't. He's making some little plays here, nothing too serious. Northshire Cleric, obviously somewhat dangerous, but could be worse. Could be a lot worse. Could actually clean the board with Bloodlust. I don't love it though. I don't love it at all. I don't really want to hit his minions just because he can heal them. So yeah, Stormforged Axe is okay. Another totem, maybe? No. Just be somewhat mana inefficient here. There's gonna be 2 draw out of the Manatide. It's pretty cool. I don't think we're going fast enough, but hopefully it doesn't kill us. Should be able to drop the Fire Elemental next turn. Should have 6 of 7, which will kill the Northshire Cleric unless he buffs it, which he may very well do. Though I may not want to do that, because I could just hit it with the Worgen, which I will do actually. It's a very slightly better play. So no 6-drop coming out of him, which is potentially good news. We'll see what he chooses to do here. Mind Blast. It's not a very good card in my opinion. Yeah, some options here, of course. We'll see though. I think that's a good play. Azure Drake. Shattered Sun Cleric buff is actually pretty solid. There's really no need to play the Fire Elemental just yet, or the Azure Drake. It's possible we could win next turn. I'd have to think about it some more. Oh shit! Hey, that healed. Why would you do that? Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Fire Elemental next turn, for sure. It's far and away the best play. Kind of want to save the Abusive Sergeant actually. So we have 5 plus 15 damage plus 6, 9. Can definitely kill him next turn. Mind control. That's a problem. Gonna have to deal with it. It's not too hard to deal with actually. Cult Master. Okay, how much damage do we have here? It's 4, it's 12. That's not enough. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. Getting a lot of card draw, which is actually sort of a problem, potentially. Yeah, well, I think we can win next turn. If I think about this. Seems likely. Let's see what he plays. Okay, this is 15 damage. I think we win, maybe. Let me do the math. So that's 8 plus 1 plus 9 plus 15. 9 plus 15 is going to be 20. 9 plus 15 is going to be 24. So we win, which is pretty cool. Neat. Beat a priest. Okay, 4-1. Nice. This is pretty cool. 24 damage in one turn. Yeah. I really wanted to be certain about my math there. I felt good about it, but I had to be 100% certain, which is why I was a little clumsy. Because it was a fairly close number, and if I was off by even 1, it could have been disastrous. Because mind controlling that Cult Master could have done some good stuff for him. But yeah, 4-1. Very happy with that. Quite a bit better than we did yesterday. We shall see how this continues to go. I'm quite pleased with this deck. Another Druid. Did okay against the last Druid, so let's see how we do against this one. You know, I don't mind having one of these late game cards, but I think I may chunk both of them for now. I think that's okay. I think it's okay. I'm uncertain about this. Feral Spirit turn 2 sounds kind of fun. This guy's saying hello. Rockbiter is pretty cool because it lets us kill 2-drop if he decides to play one. Though we won't be able to do our cool Feral Spirit play. That's fine though. It's not a big deal. You can always save the coin. We will see. Okay, shapeshift. So no plays. Out here. Feral Spirit turn 2 seems pretty strong now. Unless we draw something even stronger, which we don't. So, that's the play. Pretty dangerous, of course. We will only have 1 mana next turn, which is kind of spooky, but it's okay. It's enough to do a Rockbiter weapon, which can kill a number of 3-drops, so we'll see what he can play here. Yeah, can kill that. Get rid of that quite effectively. I'm just going to clean this card up, because I don't want it to be an issue. No. If it was like a mage or something, I maybe would consider not killing it, but it is a druid. Druids have lots of buffs, so too risky. Far too risky. Better to just deal with it right now. Yeah, Wrath, there you go. It's pretty good. Let's see what he pulls. Still got half this card in value though, so that's pretty cool. He's gonna go after it, maybe? No. Okay. Just wanted that armor. Which is okay, I guess. Flame Tongue? He already said hello. I already said hello back as well, so hopefully this guy is not gonna spam me. Otherwise I will have to mute him. Okay. So, I do want to get this Worgen on the field. I do want it to get it touching that Flame Tongue. Yeah, that's a pretty good trade for me, actually. Like I said, I want it to be touching that, so... And we'll just play a totem here. Alright. Goodbye, Wolf. You did good. I feel like we got good value out of those, so I'm pretty happy. Could keep buffing the Worgen here, see if he does a 1-drop. It's not really a 1-drop, is it? Okay. He's gonna armor up. We have potential of 12 damage on the floor right now. It's a pretty scary thing, actually. Wish we had a hex. Sadly, we do not. Can get rid of it, though. Sadly, the Worgen will die. Oh, well. Goodbye, Worgen. You were good to us. What I should actually do here is put this guy over here. Just so I keep this damage buff on this guy. Get to do a little bit more damage that way, which is pretty cool. Just want to keep this guy on the back foot all the time, forever. So next turn we can do 10 damage plus 12, which is 22. Of course, it's going to have Hogger pop out here, which is going to slow things down a bit. Can trade the Stonekin Totem with the that, and then kill Hogger. No problem. And then that play is wasted, which is cool. Do another Feral Spirits. It's not terrible, I guess. I don't mind him taking a bit of damage. I think we can win next turn with the Bloodlust. It's 18 damage. Yeah, we can definitely win next turn if he doesn't play a taunt or a board wipe. So that's cool. We shall see what he does. I'm feeling fairly good though. No Hex makes me a little nervous. We have an Iron Bark perhaps. Yeah, probably gonna taunt that up, sure. Elven Archer. Decent. Let's see what we draw here. Could change the day. Could change it indeed. It's 15 plus 10. It's 25. J. Oh, actually, hold on. Forgot about that overload. It's pretty significant, actually. Huh. It's gonna slow us down a fair amount. I'm glad I noticed that. It would have been a big deal. Yeah, gotta get rid of that. It's a pretty good trade for me. Can start hurting him again. I don't really care where this goes. Or where this goes. And again, he needs another big play. Or we will win. Because we have 18 damage in the Bloodlust. I hope that's his big play. Yeah. Got another taunt. Yeah, it sucks. There's nothing I can do to instantly get rid of it. Which means we are in trouble. Sort of. Not too much trouble though. Because we have that Resto Totem, so. I don't want to get rid of the Resto Totem, obviously, because I just did that. Not that it makes a huge difference. It does protect against swipes a little bit, though. So, it's kind of. Yeah, he's got a board clear. He's got a board clear. He may win. It doesn't look like he does. Can't think of any huge board clears at 3 mana for Druid. So, he needs a taunt. He's got a taunt. Okay, of course he does. This guy has a lot of taunts. Pretty much all he's got, actually. Okay, luckiest draw of the world. And that's a JJ. Let's make sure. That's 18, so that'll definitely win. Okay, should be fine. Five one. All right, things are good. Things are good. This deck is going very well. I'm quite happy. This is tied for my best arena run. So let's see if we can pull that 6 out. Sorry for any lapses in commentary. I'm trying to keep up with the mental math here. So I definitely don't want to underestimate by even a single number, because it could be fairly bad. 5-1's pretty good though. Let's see if we can make it a 6-1. Another mage. Chance to redeem ourselves. It's a pretty good hand actually. The only thing I'm not a huge fan of right now is the fire elemental. Shit. That's what happens when you have 3 fire elementals. Okay, Stoneforge deck's pretty good. Windspeaker. I got 2 fairly late game hands. 2 cards in here, but I do have the Mana Tide, so it's pretty good. Oh my god. So many fire elementals. The game is making fun of me. Let's see what he plays here on turn 2. Turn 2 drop. 3-2. Be useful. Give me something to poke at. With Stormforged. Very late game hand here. But potential to draw some early stuff with the Mana Tide. Still, he plays a need to defend the Mana Tide in the future, so. Hello. Yeah, it's not mana efficient, but it is what it is. Mana Tide next turn, maybe. Could happen. Don't know if I love it. I'm not gonna go after the Restoration Totem, which may have actually been good for me. Debatable. I still can't play the Mana Tide, unfortunately. Can play Feral Spirits though, which is pretty nifty. These will both trade with the Jungle Panther, which is solid value. Next turn we should have 5 mana? 4 mana? I don't remember. 4, 5. 2, 3. 3 mana. Which is going to be a problem, potentially. Is he not going to pop the Panther out here? It's an interesting question. The Fin Creeper is a problem. It's too big for me to deal with right now. Solid drop from him. Choosing not to attack at all. Mana Tide here seems like the right play. I wish I could just trade one of these guys off, but sadly I'd have to trade off both, which I don't love. Don't love at all. And there's all 3 fire elementals. Next turn we will have 6 mana, which is enough to actually start doing some stuff. Nothing too huge though. So many fire elementals, which is actually pretty good against a mage deck. Potentially. Could be a fireball here? I don't know. Nothing really great for him to nuke right now. He's getting pretty strong here though. Yep, there's another axe. I think fire elemental. The sorcerer. I'm still nervous about this. Kinda wanna keep the Mana Tide safe, basically. That's what it comes down to. I don't think I'm playing this correctly, but I'm not sure what I should be doing instead. So that's tricky. Windspeaker next turn actually sounds pretty cool. Yeah, I kinda like it. If he's got a polymorph, I think he may use it. It's pretty decent value for him. feel like he might have already used it on the mana tide though, if he had it, so uncertain. This is an auctioneer. No real follow-up for that though. And I think I can clean up here a little bit. Alright, let's just double check. 3, 4. Can trade him away. We could just hit. Kind of like just hitting. Kind of want to open up that shield as well. There's the Hex. Mana Tide has done so good here. Flame Strike would be superb. Should play it. Yeah, he's got it. It's a lot of knowledge. Yeah, he's got it. Okay. It's gonna turn things around a little bit. Quite a bit actually. But I think we can recover from it, so. So we're gonna take quite a beating this turn for sure. Indeed. Should have won earlier. Oh well. Here's what it is. See if he's got a Pyroblast to take the victory. We will definitely see it come out if he's got it. I believe it's 8 mana. Yeah, he's got it. Okay. Oh, that's a GG. Looks like he just drew it too. Yeah. Played it kind of okay, but I didn't really play that well around the Flame Strike possibility. Arguable that I should have just gotten rid of the Gadgetzan Auctioneer instead of being greedy. It's a weird game. If I had a Lightning Storm there, it would have been much simpler. So 5-2. Let's see if we can make it 6-2. Or if we are going to be perpetually stuck at 5. Hopefully not. But we'll see. I'm having some trouble with mages with this deck for sure. Just not the right. Yeah, another mage. So last chance to redeem ourselves against a mage potentially. Acceptable starting hand. Not lovely, but acceptable. We may just turn 1 the Abusive Sergeant. To counter any turn 1 plays from him, that will just die to Fire Blast on turn 2, so it's not great. But it is a turn 1 play. So whatever. We will just do it. Because it will stop any turn 1 play from him. Except coin Fire Blast probably. And he can't coin a 3-2 out safely. Which is nice. Some decent denial, basically. Worst case scenario, he probably gets to do 2 damage. Which he may choose to do. Which I find fairly interesting. I don't think it's very good. I don't think coining out a hero power is really ever very good. Certainly not on turn 1. But it's his choice. Can Fire Blast the Searing if he wants. I don't really care. He's gonna choose to do nothing. Oh, okay, it was a mistake. Fair enough. So next turn we'll have 2 mana. Enough to play a Stormforged Axe and keep these guys protected. Potentially. Depending on what he throws out here. Can kill a lot of 3-drops with the Searing Totem Stormforged Axe combo. Which is pretty good. See what he does. Raging Worgen. Absolutely gonna get rid of that. Okay, I want to hit him first. Because I don't care how much damage the totem takes, because he's gonna die anyways. So now we're in a decent place. Have complete board control. Probably gonna throw down the Cult Master next turn with 5 mana. Or 4 mana, because we played the Axe, I guess. Yep. Okay. Yeah, well, you can't really play that by itself. It's just sort of dumb. Just not a card you can play by itself. Questing Adventure. Very good card, but need immediate follow-up, or you need some board control already, or you need immediate follow-up. You can't do something else. Mirror Image, so no 5-drop, which means no Blizzard. It's okay. Some decent stuff here. So I trade these into these, and then Defender Vargas. Trade that into that. Maybe Ancestral Spirit this. It's not terrible. Actually, kind of like that. Because he will Fire Blast it probably. And keeping the Cult Master around is a pretty cool play. Faceless Manipulator. Okay. That was neat, actually. I like it. Well done. Well, a little bit exposed here. Not sure what I want to do. War Golem could be cool. May just trade these guys away. So we win next turn, I think. If War Golem can do it, yep. Fire Blast won't save him. Flame Strike once. Flame Strike would save him for a turn, or would it? No, I don't think so. He's got no follow-up, so it depends if this guy's sleeping on our turn or not. I have really no idea if it will be. Is he sleeping? He's not. Such a JJ. Cool. Good to know they don't come back sleeping, I guess. Alright, so 6-1, or 6-2, which is my new best record. So we will continue on here and see if we can continue to set a record, or get the 6-3. I'd be totally fine with a 6-3, but a 7-2 would be awesome. This video apparently is going to be even longer than the last one. Bloodlust has turned out to be a pretty good card for me. I really kind of love having one copy of it so far. Oh my god, so many mages. I think this is my 4th mage. So, gonna be difficult. Not a great track record again. Obviously we just beat a mage, but still not a great track record. I think we can get rid of those. Ancestral Spirit. Ah, that's actually awesome. That is pretty much perfect. Early Knife Juggler sounds kind of cool. Turn 1 Knife Juggler sounds pretty dangerous, actually. Let's do that. Sounds fun. And the next turn we can Totem, which is neat. See if he's got a turn 2 drop. He does. I could just Rockbiter. Keep the Knife Juggler. Oh, I could just play Stormforged Axe as well. Or I could Rockbiter and get to play Raging Warrior next turn. Both are valid. You know, let's Rockbiter, I guess. Keep some board control here. I think this is very slightly better because we get to play the Worgen next turn. Stormforged Axe obviously very good. Better card than Rockbiter probably, but in this particular situation, I have a 3-drop I really want to play, so I think it's smart to do it in this fashion. Definitely feel like we're in an okay spot right now, in control of the tempo. So he's gonna probably trade there, which is okay. I'm fine with it. And Worgen comes out now. We shall see what he does with that. Perhaps an elimination. Turn 4, of course. It's pretty good. Not sure what I want to do with it. Could just ignore it. A couple things I can do here. Ancestral Spirit Totem. Ancestral Spirit Weapon. Both seem valid. I'm okay with that. Sort of. I don't know if it was good or not. We'll see. Could have a 5-drop here. He doesn't. But he may have a spell. Indeed. Indeed he does. And, okay, so he's a scary guy. Spooky man. It's a little scary, for sure. Spellbreaker here could do some work. Yeah. Exactly. I think the axe here is okay, but it still does leave some fairly strong minions on the board, which I don't love the sound of. I think I will silence this guy. It's because I don't want him to get any beefier. It's a little bit trickier for the Mana Worm to get BP. So, yeah, I'm okay with that. We'll see if it plays out or not. He may have an answer right here for his Mana Worm. Cone of Cold, pretty good, obviously. Okay. Now that guy's starting to get beefy as hell, and he's going to try and rush me down. Which is probably good. Pretty good idea. Okay, Fire Elemental, pretty good draw. Only got one card. It's Mirror Entity. Should have played around that. That was a huge mistake, potentially. Whoops. That went okay. Still okay. Things are still looking okay. Alright, so Hex, obviously. No need to talk about that. Alright, so he has no cards. We are in a position of power. He has no elimination or anything that we know of. He put all of his resources into making that play happen. And yeah, things are looking good for us. Unless he gets very lucky. We can potentially swing this around. Saw that coming. May not have a follow-up play here. He doesn't. Which to me is interesting. I actually just want to hit him with this because I do have another one sitting around. Keep one charge on it probably for now. Okay, more fire blasts. I guess. It's a little uncertain there, I guess. I was hoping he was making a play, but no. He's not. Just gonna keep putting him down some. He's obviously got something. Probably some big elimination he doesn't feel like spending, if I had to guess. Yeah, Flame Strike, sure. It's pretty good. Doesn't actually save the day though. So that does make me worried about what else he has. Let's just be stupid. I just want to scare the shit out of him, basically. And try and lure out whatever he's got. Because he obviously needs to deal with that, you know. Alright. Works out for him, I guess. Yeah, board clear again. Still kind of curious about what he has. I'm not going to overplay this. Probably play the War Golem on the next turn. Just wanted to get some stuff out of here real quick. This is going to be close. I think he's probably got a Poly. But I'm not sure. It may be something else. Pyroblast, perhaps. Oh, he's finally going to play it, whatever it is. It's a Fireball. Oh, okay. I can't get inside of it, sadly. So, if he's got an answer right now, we will see it, of course. And if he doesn't, we will win. So that's what this is going to be. And that wasn't Poly he was holding on to, so we'll see. Could be enough. I don't know what he's got really. So Frost Nova to hold it on, and the follow up. Nothing. Okay. Dude is really holding on here. Right. Well, if he board wipes, I can probably still win. I don't know how I can board wipe. He's really pulling out all the stops here. Flame Strike. It's the follow up. You have a got a Frostbolt? No? Okay. So 7-2. Cool. Another new record. How far is this gonna go? We shall see. So we're 50% on the mages, which is neat. This is by far the furthest I've ever made it. I'm very happy. I've heard that at this point you break at least even, start making a little bit of profit on your entry, which is pretty cool. Very pleased with that. And we'll see. We'll see how we do. Quite a few mages thus far. 9 games, and we've seen 4 mages. So that's pretty significant. A lot of mage pickers. Worthy opponent. Ah, a mirror match here. Possibly to end it. Or to bring us to 8. We'll see. I like this hand. I think it's good. Turn 2 Knife Juggler into Feral Spirits. Could be fun. Not really a turn 1 play though. So a lot of early game pressure here we can put out. Nice combos. Feral Spirit Flametongue Totem is a thing I've always wanted to do but haven't gotten to do. Hope he drops a 3-2 here. He drops a 2-3. Could still coin. I don't have coin. Forgot. Could play the Knife Juggler. He will probably die, but at least he'll trade. I don't love that, but it's okay. It does waste his coin play a little bit. Well, yeah, it's bad logic. It's weird to say waste coin because, I don't know. It's got a lightning bolt. It's true. It's good. Almost forgot that was a thing. So he's going to be behind 1, which is important to remember. And this is going to put me behind 2. So it doesn't trade super well with these guys, but we'll see what he does. Obviously would love to lay down the Flame Tongue. He doesn't have play. except to enrage here, obviously. So, Flame Tongue on the wrong side, no! And I'll just board clear. I put the Flame Tongue on the wrong side, which is pretty dumb. Next turn we'll have 5 mana, second Azure Drake, and we may very well do that. It seems fairly strong. We'll see what happens though. Could have a 4th Lightning. First Shock. Pretty good. Makes the Flame Tongue essentially useless. Has his own Feral Spirit. Pretty good play. There's not much I can do about it, really. So we will venture kill. Want to set him up for a trade? It doesn't actually work that well, but it's something. Yeah, because he can do that, of course. But still, it's a nice idea. It's only got 3 mana, so we'll see what he drops. May have the same play as I did. No. Similar, not the same. That won't work too. Okay, forgot he had another attack. Sort of okay with that. And then a nice easy play here. Get ourselves some draw, got a Bloodlust, which is cool. Can maybe win over the next couple turns. Not sure. It is uncertain. I need to get rid of him, of course. And the totem comes down. Restoration. Seven play is not something we can really do. Reckless Rocketeer is a little bit vulnerable right now. Can we win? I don't think so. Well, maybe. It's 8, it's 11. Plus 6. It's gonna make it a problem, of course. It's pretty scary. Hex would be a super good draw right now. But we don't need me to tell you that, though. Feral Spirits is okay. It's not Hex, though, is it? Is it? Yeah, that'll work. Can we win next turn? No. Let's answer that question. Kind of going back and forth a bit here. Hey, double totem is going to be a problem. It's fine. Can win next turn. See if he's got a board wipe. It's not really enough. So we can do 5 plus 9. He's got a taunt though. Can deal with that. However. So let's just check this again. It's 5 plus 9, which is 14. So GG. Alright, so I think that's 8-2, which is, again, new record. Alright, so we've got one more game. Win or lose. It's going to be 8-3 or 9-2. And this is going to be interesting. Definitely never made it anywhere near this level of distance into the arena. Was not expecting this video to be nearly this long either. But here we are, at 8-2, much to my surprise. Was very much expecting to stop at 5. So, if we make it any further, if we make it to 9, I will be very, very happy, of course. But I'm actually extremely happy with 8-2, so. Final battle is going to be against a Warlock. Nothing else after this. So this is important here. I like it. It's pretty good. Very, very interesting. Knife Juggler turn 1 is pretty strong, as we know. See what he plays. His play could be indicative of what he's got. Blood Imp is pretty okay. Early. Nice to have Bloodlust in your hand, I think. Can the knives hit stealth targets? I wonder. No idea. Guess we'll find out. Sorry if there's any background noise, there's a little bit going on behind me. Hopefully it doesn't get picked up by my mic too much. So next turn we will probably drop the Flame Tongue. And yeah, see what he does here. Demon Fire. Yeah. Trade with this guy. Probably. Yeah, okay. I'm actually okay with that. It's not terrible for me. Could just throw out this guy on his own. Seems a little risky. Kinda wanna just totem instead. No real need to play him. He doesn't do anything by himself. I mean, obviously the totem really doesn't either, but it's slightly less risky because it doesn't take a card. Oh my god, those dogs. So loud. Again, apologies. The play here. Need to protect the Worgen if we're gonna play him. So, we will do just that. And I'm gonna play the Flame Tongue this time because we did get that Worgen. And I want to try and set him up to do some good stuff. Interesting. Can't really deal with that. Could hex it. Doesn't really do anything for me though. I might just throw the Worgen down and make him trade. Is that the smart play? No. But it's the play we made. Is it good to just have a Shadow Bolt here or something? So we'll see. Seems good. Ish. Blood Imp, okay. Another fucking Blood Imp? Jeez, dude's got lots of Blood Imps. Whoa. Alright. Definitely kind of a rushy deck here. Alright, I'm a little scared. Be honest. Be honest. I need to make a play, obviously. I think the best thing I can do right now is just hit that. I'm a little scared about this guy. I feel like if I survive the first few turns against him, things will be okay. But otherwise, they're going to be a pain in the ass. Don't really have a great way to get rid of those imps either. No big AoEs or anything, so. The Blood Imps, that is. He can deal with these Feral Spirits. But we'll delay him by a turn, so it's pretty good for me. Potentially. Yeah. It's alright. It's got a play. Maybe a 6-drop. 3-drop. Life tap. Probably. I don't know. Yeah, okay. Really need to deal with some of this. But at the same time, well, okay. Can do that. Get rid of that guy. It doesn't really save the day though, does it? Doesn't save the day at all. Just kind of slows things down. He's definitely got board position right now. Pretty solid. Pretty solid indeed. Yeah, that's good. Scary. Got a Hex though, so it's not really that bad. Can we trade that? Fine. Okay. I think Hex here is the right play. I don't like Hex Wind Speaker a whole lot. Can you silence a no, you cannot. Just Hex that guy. Could just drop her. Doesn't save the day though, does it? No, it does not. Huh. I don't know what to play. It doesn't help at all. Yeah, we're still in a pretty fucked up situation here for sure. He's got a lot. 2 Blood Imps. 4 cards. Got card advantage, 8 mana. Pretty messed up stuff. Could turn it around still, but I am feeling uncomfortable. I mean, here's the thing, right? If I can survive a little while, I may be able to get the 1-hit KO off, but it's gonna be iffy. I mean, it's sort of what you kind of expect a Warlock to have card advantage on you, right? So it is a big deal, but it's not the end of the world either. Could sack the Resto Totem next turn. That seems kind of dumb. May just try to rush me down here. I'm not sure. Getting the feeling he doesn't have a lot of plays to make, per se. Got something here, though. Yeah, Silverhand Knight, pretty good card. It's a very good card, in fact. Alright, so that's 15 damage we can do. I mean, obviously he's got to clear the board, so that's 9 plus 7, 8. It's not enough. There's a Wind Fury, though. Well, no, there's not. Next turn. Hellfire. Okay. It's probably GG. Maybe. Yeah, he's still got his best cards. He's going to try and rush me down now. Got rid of Twisting Nether, which is so good for me, but you're going to depend a lot on the next draw. I'm going to depend a lot. It's helpful, but I'm not sure if it saves the day. Pretty sure it doesn't. It delays by a turn. Which is neat. Unless he's got a nuke, of course. Now, could we win next turn? Yeah. If he doesn't play a taunt. Kill this. Is he gonna go? Does he have a nuke? It's the obvious question. So far, no. It does have a taunt though, so it's probably GG. Yep. That looks like a GG to me. Not much left for me to do. Yeah, I mean the combo would have worked, but he's got that taunt, so it's not gonna work. I think we are dead. Sadly. I don't see a way out of this. That's valid. Yeah, because he can. Best I can do is take out 2. Which is just not enough. Just not enough. Alright, just double check here. Just double check. Yeah, it's GG. Good game. So, 8-3. Super happy with that. 1 away from the dream of 9. But I'm still really happy. 8 is well above average and super beats all my records. So I'm very happy with 8-3. Can't complain at all. That was a really good game, and we were so close to winning at certain points as well. I feel like this was a really good run. I think all of our losses were deserved. I didn't feel cheated out of anything. I don't feel like I made too many terrible plays. There's probably some plays I could have made in that last game that would have helped, but no. Alright, so let's wow, that's a lot of gold. Jesus. It's way more gold than I was expecting. Wow. Huh. It's like 2 ring entries. Let's open some packs here and get this video done. See if we get anything interesting. Yeah, single rare. And it's a Kunai Soul Priest. Cool. Nothing too exciting, but yeah. Thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like, subscribing, you know, whatever. I'm really happy with that run. Would love to replicate that every single time, but I'm a little doubtful. It was kind of just a pretty good draft. Didn't get any of the lightning spells, which I thought was going to be the death of us. It actually may have been in some of those games the death of us, but it did, you know, it wasn't a big deal, obviously, because we still went 8-3, which is pretty much amazing, in my opinion. So, that's going to be the end of that. Hopefully my recording didn't mess up. Again, thank you for watching, if you made it all the way through. I'm sure this video is like 2 hours long by now. No idea for sure, though. Alright. See you next time on the Hearthstone Arena.